Hi everyone, this is Tubbs from Kanto Cousins. This is just our first video to show you what sort of content we're going to be bringing you. Today we're on PTCGO and I'm just going to feature my Gourgeist deck. So let's just jump into that. So Gourgeist here. As you can see, its main attack is Pumpkin Bomb. So we're doing 10 base for a DCE, and before doing damage you may discard any number of tool cards from your Pokemon, and that's 40 more for each one you discard. So that's basically what we're going to be revolving around. You can see we've got 4 DC here just to attack with. We've got no other energy cards, so we're not going to use Artillery to attack or anything like that. And we've got 2 counter energy. So on the first turn, you're likely to just get your basics out. That's literally all you're going to be doing. So if they take a prize card, you can then use counter energy instead of double colourless, basically. So you can only run 4 of each copy of card. So it's just an extra energy to attack with, basically. Okay, the next step is, this is the very crucial card, is Artillery. So you can imagine you're playing a lot of item cards, you're not playing a lot of tool cards. So you bang them all down on your Pokemon and then draw cards, so you've got 5. Absolute lifesaver in the deck, so I wouldn't replace it with anything else. Some people like to use Zoroark, but I prefer the straight draw for 5. We have for Klefki, the ability Wanderlock. So if it's on your bench, you may discard everything attached to it and make it a tool card attached to one of your Pokemon. So again, it's all focused around getting those tool cards out and hitting for a lot of damage. With Pumpkin Bomb, it says you can, or it doesn't say you can't do the active as well. So if you think you have 1 in the active, 5 on the bench, that is 6 Pokemon in play, 6 tools. Discarding is 40 more damage, so that's 240 plus the 10 is 250 total. So that kills pretty much everything in the format right now. We have 4 Rescue Stretcher, basically just to get the Klefkis back, but it's nice to cycle your Gourgeists, and that's why we're only running 3 copies. We have 4 Bodybuilding Dumbbells. You can use pretty much any tool you like, but I find that if you're not going to discard the dumbbells, you Gourgeist can sometimes survive a hit, which means you don't have to set up another one, which is really handy. 4 Choice Band. Again, if you want to run tools that you don't want to discard sometimes. So Choice Band is another one of those ones where you can keep it on for the extra damage, for the 30 extra, if you can get the knockout without discarding all your tools, for example. And then to round it off, we've got 4 Floatstone. This gives everything in the deck free retreat. So if you're starting with something like a Remoraid or a Klefki, which is quite usual actually, we only ran 4 Pumpkaboo, so you know, the odds are going to start something else are pretty high. So you touch Floatstone on, retreat it out, Vault to Gourgeist and just discard it. So it's fine. The only supporters we're running are 4 Sycamore, so drawing is absolutely crucial. You need to keep drawing into those tool cards, because once you discard them, you've then got to set up another lot of tools. So that's in there for that. Same with N, is sometimes you don't want to discard if you've got like a lot of energy in hand. You don't want to discard them all at once, so N is a nice way to slow your opponent down as well, and for you to draw cards. There are only 2 Guzma in this deck, so a lot of standard decks only usually run 3, just because it gives you switch, so you switch one of them, you switch one of yours. Yeah, so it's just to bring up a main threat on their board. So if they have, I don't know, for example, something big with a lot of energy, like a Gardevoir, for example, you bring it up and smash it in the face, and it switches you as well. It's not usually for that, because we've got the Floatstone to free retreat anyway, but it's mainly to bring up their main threats. There are only 2, because Gourgeist hits anything, like we said, in the format for a 1-hit KO. It's mainly to keep the prize trade, so they're taking 1 prize, you want to be taking 2, so you win the game faster. And to round it out, we've got 1 Bridget. So like I said, it's mainly to get the basics out on turn 1. You lay for the Bridget, or you can start Bridget. It's not hugely relevant, like a lot of decks right now are playing 3 Bridget just to get that turn 1 Bridget and all your basics out. It's not hugely relevant, I'll go over that in a second, but it's just nice to have that option when you do. So going on the tools, we've got 2 Field Blower. It's a fairly ability reliant deck, so if you come against Garbodor, you want to get rid of their tool quickly, but then again it's not, because you've got a lot of tools anyway, so it's 2 just feels like the right number. Like I was talking about Bridget, we play 4 Nest Ball, so if you don't get a turn 1 Bridget, you've got 4 Nest Ball, and you're going to see it in a second, we've got 4 Ultra Ball in there as well. It's just, you know, you get the Klefkis out, attach them to Pokemon, it's just to keep that deck flowing very nicely. Go away, Alex. We've got 4 Rescue Stretchers, like I said before, we're just cycling those Klefkis out. So if you attach all 4 Klefki, we can shuffle 3 in the deck and then use another one to get the 1 out. So it works pretty well. 1 special charge. So I was talking about Sycamore discarding your energies. You don't have to worry about it too much, but once your special charge is gone, that is it. And like I said, to round it off, we've got 4 Ultra Ball. Fairly standard counts. So we'll just jump into a game and see how you like it. Oh, I'm gaining points by the looks of it. So I have been testing Lapras, and you can see that all the things I've been theory crafting and just having a laugh with, basically. So we can say guy called Luca is playing Water and Psychic. Doesn't really jump out at me right now. We'll go for heads. And we go first, so we would love to go first. That's really good for getting our basics out to evolve the next turn. There's the Bridget, but we got no basic. So we're going to shuffle to him. He's going to get a mulligan. We don't really know if that's a good thing or not right now. Okay, this hand isn't that great. We started with Pumpkaboo and a Floatstone. Getting rid of the double stretcher isn't a very good thing, though. Oh, it's Greninja. Okay, we're going to have a tough time here. We'll Floatstone it. If we put a counter energy on, because that means we can either draw double colourless or counter next turn, which gets the Pumpkin Bomb attack off. And we'll go for an N, because we want to save those rescue stretchers. Okay, nothing too bad here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to bench that Klefki right now, because that means he can Guzma stall me. If this Greninja plays Guzma, it's just to protect myself, basically. So our hand's looking pretty good. Lele for Sycamore next turn, Ultra Ball for Gourgeist. Oh, he's going to go for another Froakie, that's fine. It's most likely we're going to take a knockout on this Froakie. He's going to get another one, and then it depends on how fast he can roll after that. Okay, so he didn't really do much. So that speaks to me. Oh, we drew Gourgeist, let's evolve that. That speaks to me he's got something in hand. Because usually... because he's expecting that to get knocked out, so he didn't attach the energy. So we'll bench that. Do we want to Ultra Ball here? We've got nothing to discard. I think I'm happy just to end. So this is a bit of a gamble. I just suspected that he would have attached the energy to the bench, knowing that one's going to get knocked out. But we'll see. And we did not draw an energy, which isn't very good. So let's Nest Ball. We want to get a Remoraid out. Unfortunately, we just have to pass the turn. We don't want to attach any tools or anything yet, just in case Field Blow comes out, because Greninja plays that in high counts. Maybe the end was the wrong idea, but... you know, I just probably overthinked it a bit. That's kind of what I'm trying to teach you guys is overthinking and thinking about why you're making your plays. So we could have gone for a Sycamore there, but he had 4 cards in hand and he only Ultra Balled, which Greninja, it depends how often you've played against Greninja before. I've played against it a lot, and I just know that they usually like to keep everything in hand turn 1. So I was hoping to end him into a worse hand. He's got a Frogadier prized. Okay, that was terrible. We can Brooklet Hill for another Remoraid, that's fine. Oh, no we can't. Both in the deck. Let's have a quick look here. 4 Stretcher, 4 Sycamore, 3 DC. So we've got a counter energy and a DC prize and a Remoraid, so that's really bad. And the other thing I'm trying to teach you guys as well is just to learn your prize cards. So it's very, very good to know what's in your prize cards so you know what to do and when. So if you're Ultra Balling for a Pokemon, but you find out it's prized, if you had looked beforehand, you wouldn't have used that Ultra Ball for that certain Pokemon. So it sort of changes your plays a little bit. So he's got a Greninja out. It wouldn't be too bad if he Shadow Stitches here, mainly because we've got a lot of tools in hand. It'd be pretty sad if we draw a Lele now. Yeah. So that's the correct play here, is try and lock out the Klefkis. Yeah, not good at all. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to retreat and let him take out the clef key. That means we can activate counter energy. Because Greninja either plays Guzma or it just doesn't play it at all. So it plays it as like a 2 count or none at all. So they are. It depends on the player. Sometimes you want to go for the switching option to get a lot of water shurikens off. But at the other point... Oh, he ended me. Oh, wow, thank you. The other point is they don't want to use it just because they want to keep smashing the active. So, you know, it's neither here nor there. Okay, he took out the Remoraid. That was a very clever idea, actually. So usually this deck would play Giratina Promo. It's another tech you can throw in if you are scared about playing against Greninja. It's a hard matchup, regardless. Oh, we drew the auxiliary, of course we did. Not a problem. So we want to spam our board with Pumpkin Boost because we know as soon as we lay one, he's just going to kill it off. So if we Ultra Ball that and that, not that matters because we go second more anyway. But we want to bump our board full of Pumpkin Bees. He's going to target the one with the tool on, so again, it really doesn't matter here. So now we know counter energy activates. We can DC retreat. We can take the KO here, I think. So we want 4 tools. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can do it. So let's do that. So even though Klefki's, even though you can't use their ability right now, you can still attach them because they are still Pokemon. We don't really want Choice Band here. I'm definitely going to keep that Stretcher just because I want a Pokemon that can do things and survive a hit or two. I'm tempted to get the Remoraid back, even though he's going to target it straight away. But it does leave our Pumpkin Boost on the board, so yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Let's try and bait him into doing that, because he either takes one or the other. I'm going to leave the special charge here for now, so that's fine. So we want to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So even though we're at a very, very bad matchup, you still play the game. You know, you never know what can happen. Oh, very nice. You know, like I say, you never know what can happen, so just keep playing. He did have a splash, so that whole line go back to his hand. So he will be getting a Water Shuriken off this turn. Yeah, so he's just spreading those splash energies across the board. It looks like he's playing 4, I would imagine. He's got 3 down already. What we really want to do is kill that Staryu off. Okay, yeah, so it's pointless in both the matchups, really. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So that prize was really crucial. We had DC and counter energy in there, so it wasn't unlikely we were going to hit it. Lily for 4. So he's either... What would he do here? He's definitely going to Shadow Stitching. We really need to top deck. Oh, he didn't. He didn't have Water Energy in hand. Oh, that is very good. I'm going to Special Charge now, because you want to get the maximum effect. So Special Charging last time would have been pointless. I was expecting a knockout on the Gourgeist, really. And I'm actually tempted to just pass her. So what you want to, when you're playing the game, you want to be trying to think ahead. So you want to try and think, why am I doing this play? What have I got to do this turn? And how can I achieve that? So last time, what we really wanted to do was draw a supporter, but that was beyond our reach, unfortunately. So So like for Gourgeist example, as we're playing the deck, your main aim every turn is to get as many tools down as you need to take the KO, and then once you've done that, make sure you're set up to do it again next turn. Okay, so he did do the shuriken. I wonder if he's going to take out... No, he didn't take the bait this time. So our counter energy activates again. What we really need is a Sycamore into lots of things. Right now, our plan is Astonish. Okay, that was bad. Yeah, we definitely lose here, I think, because he water shurikens whichever. Our main plan now is Astonish and get rid of the water energy. Nope. Never mind. Unfortunately, even if you played Giratina Promo, it's still a hard matchup, mainly because of that Shadow Stitching attack. So with Garbodor blocking your abilities, you can field blow them off. Unfortunately, you can only play Pokemon Ranger against Shadow Stitching, and you're not going to play Pokemon Ranger as a one-of to just deal with the Greninja that you might play against. What did they get? He got an N. Brilliant. Please use it. Even though we're going down quite quickly, he has got 7 cards left in deck, so there is a very slim chance we can win by deck out. And again, it's another lesson I'm trying to teach you guys is, even if you're in a really bad position... Oh, we drew a Sycamore. Yay! Even if you're in a really bad position, how can you still win, basically? Let's throw all this down. We don't want to touch the energy yet, mainly because our attack now is Lele Energy Drive. Oh, look at that. Smashing. We could even do that. I think I still lose here, but let's go for it anyway. So we want to shuffle 2 Pumpkaboo and a Gourgeist in. We're going to double Nest Ball to get the Pumpkaboos out. I want him to overextend to take the knockouts here. So we're going to retreat. Yeah, it's got to be Pumpkaboo, sorry. And we're going to pass, because whichever one I attach the energy to, he's going to kill it anyway. So you may as well just keep it in hand, ready for next turn when you're only going to attach 1 energy anyway. So he's firing off a Shuriken. He is taking out the benched one. Greninja has free retreat, right? Yeah, so he can just retreat. If you've got Water Energy in hand, he wins the game. So, oh yeah, Moonlight Slash. Of course, I forgot about that. Okay, so we had lost that game regardless. That was fine. If we look at the stats here, so price card taken. We only took 1. He took all 6. He did 500 damage. We did 170. So you can say that the deck snowballs once it gets going, but the main thing was to give you guys a glimpse of what content we're going to be giving you, and just a little insight onto how I'm going to teach you how to be better at the game. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Kanto Cousins, and we will see you next time.